Okay, now I can see the chat again. This is so silly. That's right. I now have an office chair in the Smithy, Kevin. I decided to set up my green screen so that I could put the Smithy on in the background, at least feel like I'm out there. All right, so as I was saying, and nobody else is going to be here to hear it, but we can start spreading the word, probably by my just joining uh, the Impractical Blacksmiths live stream next week. But I've got another week to think about it, but I think I'm going to change my time back to my time of 9 to 11. I feel kind of rushed getting things done in the morning and getting things set up out in the smithy, and so there's that. There's also the fact that summer is coming to an end, and so I think you know, having my hobby to turn to every week would be very therapeutic. Be able to hang out with y'all, and so I know it's not as convenient for some of you to join the hour later that will entail, but um, that isn't all about you. That isn't how that phrase goes. I know. Um, but yeah, so other updates, and I'll probably cover this again the next time I'm on, since this stream went so poorly with all of the technical issues of Mac and disrepair. Um, uh, I've had a very full 6 weeks. Went down and stayed with my father and mother-in-law, and or not mother-in-law, stepmother, and that was an amazing time. Really wonderful opportunity. There's lots of emotional ups and downs. Hey, Shane. Yep, round three. Um, And this time I'm not using OBS, so maybe the fact that OBS takes a lot of uh, um, CPU to get the job done um, was part of the problem, while it was also trying to use CPU for other things. And instead, I'm just using Restream's own web interface, just like I did when I did the outside um, uh, stream before I left for 6 weeks or so. Um, I think 7 weeks now. Except that I'm not using my phone, I'm using my Mac, so I can sit in my chair, not be out in the smoke. Anyway, yeah, in case you missed that, Shane, it's smoky outside. So being out in there is not a healthy thing to do unless I want to work with a N95 on the whole time. I did that yesterday while cleaning chicken coops, so that worked out well, but it's not fun. Anyway, yeah, the thought is summer's coming to an end. You know, I missed most of the ability to enjoy summer, especially the August um, ability to work anywhere. Um, that was a bit of stress, really stressful to be fair, um, because those 6 weeks with my parents were great. To be able to enjoy time with my father, to be of service, that was wonderful. The emotional ride that it was to come to understand his illness and what it takes. That's not fun, but you know, um, rewarding in a completely different way. He's in the hospital right now because of his illness. He had to have a couple of pints of blood and a couple of pints of platelets, and checking to see if he's got any kind of infection. Um, as he spiked a fever again last night, but frankly, my being there at this point, um, I'm sure would be useful to his wife, but not so really needed. Um, so I came home, and actually the last 2 weeks I was there. Well, much of the time I was there, I was stressed out about work because though the owner of the company has a very big heart and a lot of empathy for me, and told me to don't worry about work, go be with family. My boss had pressures on him I don't know, um, that had him asking me to make, um, you know, delivery of work product, and I just couldn't do it. And I told him that right up front. The first week I was there, I told him that I've been trying, but didn't have the capacity for focus to deliver work product. And he's like, "Well, do what you can," which is not the same thing at all as to what the owner was saying. And if the two of them end up seeing this video, I don't care because honestly, there's a disconnect between them. And I could take all the blame and say that I didn't communicate clearly enough, but I do think I communicated clearly that I was not capable of doing what he wanted me to do. And yet I was my personality pushed its way through and said, "But I'll do what I can." And maybe that was my mistake. Um, so I was stressed out about work the whole time I was gone. And to the point that the last 2 weeks I was there, the second to last week, I actually just holed up in my bedroom and didn't help out as much as I'd been helping out previously. And then the final week, I actually moved to a hotel and worked from the hotel. Um, so now I'm back. I'm focused on work and home. But of course, I do get the news and just disseminate the news to the family. as to what's been going on with my father. Um, but I'm glad to be moving back to something more close to normal, because uh, you know my personality is such that disruptions make it very hard to I can't really separate things so easily as maybe some can. Um, but anyway, that's enough of that. Um, Back to what's coming up going forward. Uh, the the thoughts that have been running through my head is I would love to have a place where people could come on and actually chat with me, not just type chat, but have Discord running in the background, and we have a Discord conversation while I work. Um, I, I I do enjoy the conversation quite a lot with you all, and it'd be sort of like hanging out with friends. Bring your beverage of choice, or work along with me. That'd be cool too. Um, so I've been thinking about doing Discord while I do my live stream. Obviously, not everybody would be invited to that, and the Discord would be handed out on on an individual basis that would not never be publicized in my live stream, or as a Discord link that anybody could join. Um, or if I learn more about Discord and could limit who's allowed to be in the actual audio part of it, then we would do that. Um, because I don't want random people. Exactly. Bad advice in real time. I would love that. Um, so, uh, that's what I've been thinking about with Discord. I was hoping that I'd have an opportunity to chat with Alexis and Adam, and it doesn't happen that Yamez gets on here, so that's fine. But I'd like to chat with those three and find out if this could be a channel, an audio channel on their Discord, or if I should be better served by setting up my own Discord. Um, and we'll figure that out. I don't know if it'll be figured out by the next live stream in 2 weeks, but we'll figure it out. Um, and then the other part is 2 weeks from now, the time may change. Like I said, 8 o'clock is pushing me to move faster than my brain is ready to go, um, and body more than my brain even is ready to go. So I think I'm going to move back to the 9 o'clock my time, noon Eastern, and I apologize if that's not the most convenient thing for most, but I have to recognize what I'm capable of and embrace that. So and then because I'll be moving back to 9, I'll be able to do it weekly again and have more time for doing the um, blacksmithing challenge, which 2 weekends, 2 hours each, 4 hours for a blacksmithing challenge. That's a real challenge for me. And that's about all the time I get out in the smithy is when I'm getting on here to do a live stream. It's a commitment device as much as anything else, because I do enjoy this hobby quite a bit, but I have a lot of other things going on in my life that if I don't set aside the time, it's not going to happen. So, um, and then the next thing to add on to this is I've been thinking about changing the YouTube, it would just be the YouTube channels title and focus. Um, Facebook would stay the same. It's a page dedicated to my blacksmithing. Um, Twitch would change to follow YouTube, and LinkedIn would probably also change, because LinkedIn folks know me for way more than just blacksmithing. As a matter of fact, they know me as a software engineer. Um, and so for them, it's a fun surprise to discover that I'm a blacksmith. But I'm more than just a blacksmith too, right? I also have 3D printing as a hobby. Um, I have my farm here as a hobby, and sometimes I just want to talk about um, things. So I'm thinking about changing the YouTube channel to Jack Pines Talks and Does Stuff. So I'd love feedback on that idea. Obviously, you don't have to show up on the uh, times that I do stuff that isn't blacksmithing. I wouldn't expect anybody to join me on those cases, but you'd be welcome to do so. And then I wouldn't feel bad about spending time sharing my other hobbies with folks while I'm at it on this channel. Um, and it could be done at any time at that point. I could actually do long form content that is purposefully not blacksmithing, or I could get on and just talk about, personal revelations, um, and share that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'd love any feedback folks have on that idea. But that was something that started bouncing around in my head over the last couple of weeks, as I had time not to be blacksmithing over the last several weeks. So, um, so that's it. That's the news roundup for what's going on right now in my head. Um, there's lots more going around in my head right now, but I'm not ready to share about that yet. Um, it won't be a surprise to some of you, some of the things that's been going around in my head. So, well, that's the key there, Kevin, is do you want to know things about 3D printing? Um, that's all really is. Um, I don't know a lot about 3D printing. I am figuring out stuff as I go. Yeah. Speaking of manure, that's one thing I don't have to worry about for a little while now, unless we are going to call the chicken droppings and turkey droppings and goat droppings manure. But I don't think that's how it's called. While I was gone, the last week I was gone, sadly, we lost our donkey. Um, she wandered out of her um, paddock, in her stall and paddock one evening, and I never saw her return from that. And when we went out to feed her, we found that she was laying in the field, um, just not wanting to get up. And in case she was in pain, we gave her a little bit of pain medicine, at which point she quieted down and passed away. So, you just keep lay it on top of the with your printer, the D, and you'll get some really interesting results. Yes. See, Shane knows, but you can only have three Ds involved, so you have to scale your Ds appropriately. But yeah, sadly, I wasn't here to help my wife through that, and it was sad. I had to bid her farewell over the phone, um, and it's a bit macabre to say, but we did something that we didn't think we could do, when we realized that by calling this service, we would be helping the zoo feed their animals, and so the circle of life was complete instead of waste. And so, yeah, it was sad, it was heart wrenching, but um, our Rosie has has gone on to complete the circle of life there. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna do to make it so that this isn't a macabre ending to my live stream, but, um, yeah, that's, uh that's what my thinkings have been, that, this morning, 8 o'clock snuck up on me pretty quick. It was 7:44, and I realized I need to be set up already, and, with same time, we knew that the smoke outside was such that I shouldn't be out in it, and so then I ran upstairs here and discovered that my Mac is, showing its age, and was really upset um, that I hadn't cared for it over the last 6, 7 weeks, maybe even 8. Anyway, for a while. And so, yeah, um, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me through all of the technical difficulties. And I look forward to seeing where we take things going forward. But one of the biggest ones is I want to be able to have you guys in a chat so that um, we can talk, um, and not have the delay of the stream, with and the requirement for hands-on keyboard. And that way you could have my stream up on a TV if you're not doing a stream, in your shop, and you could be doing stuff and giving me bad advice. I think that would be awesome. So um, I will see you guys, I'm sure, in the Impractical Blacksmiths live stream, and uh, look forward to chatting with you there. And we'll uh, see about getting on a live chat after that stream to see if which way we go. If we use a um, a voice channel in um, their um, Discord, if I set up a new one, and go from there. So until next bat time, we will leave you with the same challenge I leave every week: love and light.